Good morning, everyone. It's Monday. We have reached a new week. So we are thankful for this morning. We are thankful to be here this morning. So I just want to say good morning to each and every one of you and welcome to Purpose Journey Counseling, LLC. My name is Dr. Natatu North, and I am the owner and therapist of Purpose Journey Counseling located in Cincinnati, Ohio. And today is Monday, July the 25th, 2022. So as you're coming on, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And I will post the link for this live following the video. I will post it on Instagram. So again, we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And I will post the link following the broadcast on Instagram. So take some time to like this video. Let's follow, let's subscribe to the YouTube channel, Purpose Journey Counseling, and let's share this morning. Today is Monday. So today we are back to Monday mood and motivation. So let's like, follow, subscribe, and share this morning. So it's Monday morning. This weekend, I'm sure was full of some ups and some downs, some fun, maybe some not so much fun things, and a lot of different things. But what's the mood this morning? Mondays are always questionable, I would say, because, when we're getting started with the week, sometimes we're ready, sometimes we're not ready. Sometimes we need a little bit of some motivation, a push. And that's the whole purpose of having these Monday mood and motivation. So today, the mood is connection. So what does that mean? We all need connection. We all need, especially human connection. We all have different relationships and engagement with different things. And the important thing about connection is that can be a thing, it could be a person, it can be an organization, it could be your job, it could be a bunch of different things. But the mood today is connection. So why is the mood connection? The mood is connection today because it's going to be important for us to kind of take some self-inventory on what and who we are connected to. They talk about it's better to give than to receive. But in some relationships or with some of our connections, we have to ask ourselves, are we giving more than we're receiving all the time? Meaning you're constantly pouring and pouring and pouring, but those connections are not necessarily pouring back into you. You see the value in those connections, but those connections don't necessarily show that they value you as well. Are your connections reciprocal? Meaning, it's not tit for tat. It's not tit for tat. Sometimes you might have some connections or, with people or things or places and organizations and jobs where, you might give a little bit more sometimes. But are they able to pour back into you as much as you're pouring into them? Or are they at least pouring into you as much as you're pouring into them? Sometimes they say you can't pour from an empty cup, but a lot of times the reason why we're so stressed and we're so tired is because we're giving, we're pouring and pouring and pouring, but we're not necessarily connecting to something or someone who is able to reciprocate that same type of pouring that we're doing. So again, the mood today is connection, meaning we need to be connected. We need to have those connections. But the motivation today is to check your connections. What are you connected to today? Now, I won't go into a whole spiel about this, but being connected to a source that gives you power is important. And of course, that's the God that I'm speaking of. But what are you connected to this morning? If you're constantly feeling drained and you're constantly feeling depleted, you have to ask yourself, what am I connected to? It's a very simple illustration. It's like a cell phone. If you don't charge your cell phone, the battery's going to be dead, right? It has to be connected to the charger, which is connected to the power source and an outlet, which then charges the phone. Well, as people, we're very similar. We've got to be connected to something that charges us, that fuels us, that gives us the power or the strength or the wherewithal to be able to do the things we need to do. It doesn't mean that you won't get tired sometimes. It doesn't mean that some days you're just not feeling it. It doesn't mean that things won't be challenging. But what it does mean is that we still need to be connected. And again, that's with each other, that's in our human interactions. Whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, we still need human contact. We still need human engagement. But we have to think of reciprocity. Are your connections reciprocal? And you also want to check what and who you are connected to today. So again, today the mood is connection. So let's work on connection today as we're moving through this week, as we are establishing maybe some new relationships, maybe some new connections, or maybe we're subtracting some connections. It's not so much about cutting people off, but maybe we have to reevaluate, what are we pouring into? What are we constantly engaging with? Maybe those connections are draining us. Maybe it's like a faulty charger. It's not charging us. We're actually just plugged into it, but it's not really doing anything. And then being mindful of who and what we're connected to. Because if we're recharging, we're pouring, we want others to be able to do the same for us. We want the things that we do, the places that we go, the time and energy and effort that we put into things, we want that to be able to feed us as well. It's about reciprocity. Reciprocity. So again, today, the mood is connection, and the motivation is do some self-inventory today. Who and what are you connected to? And are you connected to the source? We'll talk more about that, I'm sure, later this week. So I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us for Monday Mood and Motivation. I want to leave you with this every day: to be loving, to be kind, be compassionate, be intentional. A little of all of these things go a very long way. And as we're talking about connection, ask yourself, are your connections doing the same for you? Again, thank you for joining us this morning. Join us again tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, live for Tuesday Talk. Have a marvelous Monday. Blessings and love.